everyone. Welcome to the Sister Circle. I'm Dr. Gena Yuvette Davis, founder and CEO of True Synergy Inc. And we are a professional organizational development company based right here in Los Angeles, California. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm also a proud member of the Los Angeles Alumni Chapter of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. And I just want to let you know how excited we are to put on this 7 days of Delta Care just for you, our amazing self-care summit. Before we get started with everything, I just want to take just a few moments to thank all of our amazing presenters who have given us amazing, beautiful, wonderful, exciting, interesting content over the past few days. We're in day 3 now, and we're just chugging right along. I also want to thank my co-chairs, my 2 co-chairs, Kim Jackson Matthews and Veronica Rao, for just really helping to support this endeavor. I also want to thank our first vice president and our liaison, Kimba Miles, our amazing chapter president, Janice Simeon, and all of my beautiful sorority sisters for coming out and showing up and helping us to put on something just simply amazing. So I just wanted to just give that little shout out to everyone. Are you enjoying the conference, the summit? Please post in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking about this time that we're having together. I want to hear from you. I am so excited. I hope you are too. And we're going to get started. So tonight's listening circle is all about self and being. It's one of my favorite topics, and I've been working with it for quite a while and working with it in the concept of use of self. And it's something that I think is really important, especially for women of color. And I just want you to go on this journey with me as we explore ourselves better and how we can be the best that we can be. So now, everyone, let's open the circle. All right. So we are getting started, and I have my trusty assistant, Anze, who is going to be helping me. I want to get started by doing a quick grounding exercise. Let's go to the next slide, please. I would like everyone to put their feet flat on the floor, and I want you to take your arms and wrap them around yourselves and give yourself a great big old hug while breathing 3 breaths. So in through the nose, out through the mouth. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. One more time, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Keep hugging yourself and try saying this: I love you just the way you are. Say it again. I love you just the way you are. Now, how does that feel? Lean into that. Post in the chat and let me know. Let's go to the next slide. Now, I just want to give you a little bit about me. Let's go next. So I'm born and raised in Los Angeles, California. That's me at 6 years old. Next slide. I graduated from University High School here in Los Angeles, right down the street from UCLA. Next. And I spent 2 years in junior college. I went to West LA College, and then I went to Santa Monica College for 2.5 years. And then I graduated from the University of Southern California, Fight On, with my degree in communication arts and sciences. Next slide. while I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I became a producer on my own award-winning fashion magazine show called Simply Vogue. It aired to 90,000 viewers and people loved it. It was a magazine show on fashion, art, beauty, and travel. So it was really, really cool. I did that for a while. Over the years, next slide, over the years, I love to travel. As a lot of you know, I've been almost everywhere. Next slide. I travel, love the outdoors. I love going on nature walks. Next slide. I love skiing. I love skiing for a while. I don't ski so much. I was really good on the bunny slopes. But I also love going to the beach and just being outdoors and being in nature. Next slide. I got my first entertainment job at Sony Pictures Entertainment, which I really loved. I was a marketing assistant and I got a chance to do talent tours and we sold domestic television shows overseas. So I got a chance to meet a lot of international people and Columbia TriStar International Television. And we were tiny, but we were mighty. But I was there for 4 years and I didn't get promoted the entire 4 years I was there. Sorry, Sony. But, and decided to go out on my own and try to figure out what I wanted to do. I wanted to get my MBA. So next slide. I started my own marketing communications agency, GDC, Gena Davis Communications. And I did that for 7 years. And while I did that, next slide, I received my MBA in marketing from the University of Phoenix. Next slide. And after I did that and my business closed, I started to go to work for 2 more entertainment companies, the Walt Disney Company as a consultant, and then I was the executive director of global brands for Fox Entertainment Group. I was in the mobile division. Really loved that job until we had a major layoff and then they sold off our division. Go figure, that's business. And so while I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, next slide, I became a member of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Next slide. All while I was raising my 2 little pet children, Foster and Tuna. Next slide. Then I launched True Synergy and when I first started with True Synergy, I started traveling all over the country, speaking and doing training and all of these different things to really hone my skills and also build my business. Next slide. And then during that time, I got my doctorate degree in organizational development. And so that's why I'm Dr. Gena now. Next slide. And I did that while also raising my 3rd pet child, Miss Mila. Next slide. And now we're here today. We've also launched Dr. Gena Yuvette Davis Media, Dr. Gena Media for short, and our Serenity Sanctuary community. Next slide. But I didn't know anything about myself. Can you imagine with all the things that I was doing, I didn't know who I was, especially during my 20s and 30s. I was like a pendulum and I was swinging back and forth and I was trying to be what other people wanted me to be. And I was so focused on that I didn't know what I thought, what I believed, what I valued. And so instead of me trying to figure that out, I went about the business of shutting down and turning up, just traveling and having fun and trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to do. But it was more importantly for me was trying to figure out who I was and what mattered to me and what was important to me. Tonight, everybody, we're going to take a brief journey, a brief experimental journey on the concept use of self. So using yourself as an instrument of change and how we as Black women, So this is the Sisters Listening Circle. So how we as Black women can begin to utilize ourselves to learn, grow, and advance to get to that next level in our career or in our business if we have our own business. I'm going to give you some concepts. And some of these concepts you might know already. You might have heard these already. But I want you to contemplate something. I want you to contemplate this word. Next slide is, here it comes, Shoshin. Shoshin. And Shoshin is a word from Zen Buddhism that means, here it comes, beginner's mind. So what I want you to do is, as you're looking at these concepts, as we're talking about them, I want you to look at them with a beginner's mind, Shoshin. And I want you to do some reflection work, some introspection work, and think about how you can use these concepts in a different and in a unique way. Because sometimes we say, oh, I know about that, or I know that. But what's really funny is we know these things, but we don't practice these things. So I just want you to spend some time just reflecting on them and use your beginner's mind. We always say that it takes 21 days to change a habit, sometimes more or less. But in order for us to change, you have to be, one, aware that you need to change. You have to be, two, willing to change. And three, you need to take action on that change. So in the words of Sean Connery from the movie The Untouchables, one of my favorite movies, by the way, what are you prepared to do? What are you going to do differently? So let's get into the dialogue and the discussion. Next slide. So we have some significant firsts I want to talk about for a moment. Some of these, all of these, we should know. The first Black female First Lady of the United States is posted in the chat. The first Black and Asian American First Vice President of the United States is posted in the chat. The first Black woman to be nominated to the Supreme Court is posted in the chat. The first Black woman to run for governor of Georgia. Who is that? Posted in the chat. The first Black woman to run for U.S. president is posted in the chat. The first Black woman millionaire in the U.S. is, or was, posted in the chat. The first Black woman to win an Oscar. Who is that? Post that in the chat. And last, the first Black woman in space. Who is that? So what do all of these ladies have in common? What do all of these names say about you? You can go ahead and post it in the chat. I hope that these names empower you, inspire you, and really get you to commit to yourself. So whatever your goals and your dreams are, that you don't give up. You keep pushing forward. Who knows? You may be the first, and your name will be on this list too. So let's go to the next slide. So what does it mean to understand myself using the concept use of self? So number one, using the use of self to help you understand yourself means understanding how you show up in the world, not how the world shows up for you. So what does that mean? It gives you the opportunity to build your foundation and really begin to make the decision to decide who I want to be in this world, not allowing other people to tell you who you want to be in this world. And making that decision and setting that intention and using your knowledge of self to do that. It took me to the age of 40 to really begin to understand myself and who I was, what I believed, what I valued, what was important. And I used that knowledge of self to create what I wanted to be and how I wanted to show up in this world. It also means being intentional with yourselves. As we grow, we learn more and more about our thoughts, our feelings, our behaviors, and how those thoughts, feelings, and behaviors impact others. One of my favorite courses to teach is developing emotional intelligence. And one of the quadrants in emotional intelligence is self-awareness. And one of my favorite quotes is by Aristotle, know thyself. Know thyself. So in self-awareness, you're able to understand what makes you angry, what makes you happy, what gets your gait, what gets you frustrated. If you know that about yourself, then you develop the second quadrant, which is self-management and how to manage your emotions in the moment. So being intentional means learning more about who you are, and having that developing your emotional intelligence can help you get there and can really help you learn, okay, how does this impact my impact others? Because perception is reality. So how others perceive me is their reality. It may or may not be true, but it's true for them. And based on that relationship that you have, you may want to shift or do some things differently because of those relationships or how you want to show up in the world. Okay. The next one is not I'm saying we're still on the same slide. So as we pay attention to the world around us, the people who interact with and experience us, and what our intentions give insights to others about ourselves. Does that make sense? So you want to really begin to learn how to connect with others in a way that gives you information. Now, I was talking with someone earlier about how they're showing up in the world. Just put it like that. So how they're showing up in the world. And people's perceptions, if they don't know you or you don't show the real, authentic, true you, then people are going to make decisions about you and they're going to tell other people, and then other people have this narrative is now created. So we want to be able to control our own narrative. And so using use of self helps to do that, and understanding use of self. Incidentally, use of self is a fairly new modality, a new concept that was developed by Dr. David Jameson, who I've met and who is an amazing man. He is brilliant. And I've been really following him and really wanting to try to understand the use of self, especially in the lives of Black women, in our careers, in our businesses, and dealing with challenges that we have in terms of microaggressions, discrimination, all of these things that sometimes we feel we have no control over. but we do have a voice. We do have the ability to choose, and we do have the ability to control the narrative. Okay. So, as Black women, use of self is a critical framework, and it helps us to understand our emotional and mental well being. Now, for my dissertation topic is, it's pretty long, so I have to read it. The self-esteem of Black female corporate professionals in the workplace, how unconscious and implicit bias played a role. And I interviewed 12 professional women, and we talked about unconscious and implicit bias and how it impacted their careers. And as I was studying for my dissertation, I read some data around the emotional tax. And I just want to read you a passage in here: Black women and the emotional tax. In a Catalyst report, the authors found that emotional tax could negatively impact the health and success of 45% of Black women. So these are the authors of Catalyst. These symptoms that Black women were noticing, this emotional tax, these microaggressions, these discriminatory practices, these unconscious biases were really taking a toll on us. And so these symptoms that were coming up for some of the women that I spoke to in my study, feeling different and separated, not feeling included, on guard all the time. They were also feeling just not psychologically safe. Also, these were other symptoms, like their sleep was changing, and they felt like they had to be on all the time, that they couldn't relax. And trust me, in my own experience, felt the same way. How many of you have felt separated or felt different or exclusive, even in 2022? Even in 2022, these microaggressions, these things that are coming up for us has really become a challenge. So utilizing use of self techniques to help us deal with our own emotions and protecting our well-being can certainly help with that. Studies also have indicated that Black women are earning degrees twice as faster. I don't know about twice as fast, maybe I'm thinking that, but faster than any other group. And Black women are the fastest growing entrepreneurial demographics. But we're still facing discrimination. We're still facing challenges. Are we overcompensating, ladies? Are we trying to constantly proving ourselves that we are good enough, that we are special enough, and that we're worthy enough? Yeah, we are. I have a ring that I wear on my finger every day to remind me I am enough. I am enough. And whenever I start to feel these microaggressions, or someone is gaslighting me, or I'm feeling like it's a struggle to grow my business and all of these things are happening, I keep telling myself, I just look down at my ring and says, I am enough. I am enough. Next slide. So the use of self in self and being. So again, this is a concept that I've been playing around with. So this is experiential, and definitely tell me what you think about this as we're looking at these things. So, in when we talk about the self, there are so many parts of ourselves. And I mean, there's a lot. There's self-doubt, there's self-confidence, there's self-inquiry, there's self-acknowledgement. I mean, there's so many different parts of ourselves that we need to be aware of. But these are four that I have chosen because I think there are the most important when it comes to Black women in America and things that we really want to focus on when when we're thinking of ourselves and using ourselves as an instrument of change. So the first one I talked about earlier is self-awareness. Know thyself, like I talked about earlier. Understanding who you are. What are some things that you can do to begin to really know yourself? Well, first and foremost, spend some time with yourself. We're doing so much for other people that we need that downtime just for ourselves for reflection and introspection, and really begin to ask yourself these questions. And we're going to go through some of the questions in a moment. But that self awareness, spend some time with yourself, get to know yourself. I coached someone about a year ago that did not want to feel her feelings. She didn't want to feel. She just she just exploded. And once she exploded, she felt better after she exploded, but she did not want to take the time to feel her feelings for herself. And that was all around self awareness. She didn't know herself well enough to even know what it felt like to get angry, or what it felt like to be sad, or what does it feel like to be happy or to be scared. We want to take that time because we're so busy doing, helping. We want to, that we don't take that time for here and here. Okay. So self-awareness is one. The other one, let's look at self-esteem. So self-esteem is the degree in which you value yourself. Now, for me personally, I really work and have worked on building my self-esteem by really beginning to understand my worth and my value as it relates to the work that I do. I used to didn't think that. And being 100, I did not think that. So I work on understanding the value that the work that I do, and I communicate. And that's how we build our self-confidence, right? Our self-confidence is all about understanding that I can do this. I have the ability or the competency to do the thing that I'm being asked to do. And self-esteem means that I have enough value for myself to do that thing. The next one is self-belief. Do you believe you can do it? You might say, yeah, I can do it. Or, yeah, I kind of value myself. I don't down myself too much. But especially those things that you may not have, you haven't done before. This is our first self-care summit. We've never done a summit before. Not like this, not online, and certainly not live. So having that self-belief, that intrinsic feeling within yourself that you can do something, even if you haven't done it before. And then the last one is self-image. It's your impression of yourself and others and and it's part of your subconscious. How do you feel about yourself? How are you showing up? What is your intention? Having a positive self-image is key. I work with a lot of executive women to build their executive presence, and men on their executive presence. It's not just about how you look, but it's about how you command a room, how you communicate, how you talk, how you lean in, like in Sheryl Sandberg's book. What seat do you take at the table? Not just having a seat at the table, but where you're sitting at that table. So being aware of self enough that says, you know what, I deserve a seat at the table. I deserve a seat next to the CEO or the chairman of the board or whatnot. Okay, so just some things to think about. Let's go to the next slide. So understanding self. So let's look at some introspection. And we're not going to go through each and every one of these, but these are questions. If you want to take a picture of this or you want to write it down, you can. But I want you to spend some time in these areas and really ask yourself some questions. You want to get to know yourself better? Ask yourself these questions. Who am I? And who am I is all about your identity. How do you identify? How do you identify? How do you, what's your identity? How do you identify yourself? What does that mean to you? Okay. Why am I here? What's my purpose? We're all here for a reason. We're all here to grow through life and living our experiences, making choices, focusing on our life as we know it, making mistakes, understanding what we believe, what we value, how we want to show up, and what we're here to accomplish. These are things that, what's my purpose? Why am I here? And I really want you to spend some time thinking about that. I want you to think about this. There's a framework called the Johari window. And the Johari window has 4 quadrants. And one is about what you know about yourself and what others know about you. So this is how you show yourself. And then quadrant 2 in the Johari window is what you know about yourself and what other people don't know about you. And we tend to live in that quadrant quite a bit. And then in quadrant 3 is what other people know about you, but what you don't know about yourself. Now that's powerful, because in quadrant 3, there's an opportunity to learn, grow, and advance. And it really all depends on who is giving you that advice. Is it somebody that really cares about your growth and your development? Or if it's some self-serving person that's saying, I'm only trying to help you, but they really are not trying to help you? You know the people. So that 3rd quadrant is something that you really want to take some time, and those blind spots sometimes can get us stuck in situations. So that's an opportunity to have a mentor, a very close friend or ally to really share with you those blind spots, those things that you cannot see. And then the 4th quadrant of the Johari window, talks about those things that others don't know about you and that you don't know about you. These are the things that are yet to come. And I always say to others, I grow daily. Who I was yesterday, I'm completely different today. I grow daily. I evolve. I learn. And I do things differently every day. And I think it's important. And do I fall off the bandwagon? Yeah. Do we all fall off the bandwagon? And we're like we're rubber bands. We stretch out and then we go back to our patterns and behaviors. But that's what it means to practice. That's what a practice is. You're doing something over and over and over and over again until you master it. Let's go to the next slide. And being. So, there's a lot to say about our beings. We're human beings. We're living, we're existing, we're growing, we're evolving. So these are some questions you may want to ask yourself. Who do I need to be in order to get where I want to go? That's huge. That's powerful. I hope somebody's writing that down. Who do I need to be in order to get where I want to go? Okay. Use of self, understanding the self, being with yourself, connecting with others, that is really important. That's going to help you answer that question. And then the next question you want to ask yourself is, what assumptions am I holding about myself? And how does it show up in my experience? So we all can have assumptions about who we are, who we think we are, or who we believe we are. And so you want to really think about who you are and how that is showing up in your experience. When I was in my doctoral program, we did this, I forgot what it's called. It's one of those things where it's like a word cloud, and it has all of these different words that, and we did it where each student was able to punch in words of what they think about you. And all of these different words, and I was so nervous because I was wondering, what are they going to say? But these words started popping up. And I was really surprised and happy to see strong personality, impact, makes an impact, nice, kind, assertive, boss, all these different terms. I was like, well, wow, that was really interesting. But there were other things that were said that was showing up in my experience with in interactions. Sometimes let me see, what were some of the things that they said? More aggressive was one of them. Dominant was another. And isn't that, these are things that we hear a lot. I mean, I know I've heard a lot. Dominant, we hear these things: dominant, aggressive, angry. Yeah, that wasn't in my sheet, but I've heard that before. If my voice drops an octave, she's angry. She's so what we want to do is think about how these behaviors are showing up in our experience, and how are they helping or hurting us if we're trying to ascend. And then I'm going to give you one more. What might I be reinforcing in others by my behaviors and actions? So this is a good one. When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was a straight D. Now I'm a D now, but I was a D. I was a double D when we look at the DISC um, personality profile. And I was dominant. I was aggressive. I was really trying to get things done that I wanted to get done in my career, and really try to make things the best they can be. But one thing we want to remember is when you take that time for that extra introspection and think about, how is my behavior impacting other people? And sometimes these are things that we don't always think about or know. And this is for everybody, to really think about how that behavior is impacting others. How our communication or lack thereof is impacting others. And really using that use of self to really, make a shift if we need to make that shift. Okay. And then another thing is, in what ways am I giving up control and allowing myself to be vulnerable? And this is hard. This is hard for us to be vulnerable. It's hard for us to give up control. But sometimes we have to do that in order for us to learn, grow, and advance. And what is my intention? What is my intention for my life? What is my intention for my career? And how is that intention impacting me? I'm intending to create programming for women to help them understand themselves better, for them to find a voice, to help them to learn, grow, and advance in their business. What are you intending? What are you intending for your career? What are you intending for your life? How do you want to show up? And how are you going to use the understanding of self to do that? Okay, next slide. So how do we connect with ourselves? So just a couple of things. This is something my dear, dear friend used to always tell me all the time. Do you understand who you are and whose you are? Don't want to forget that. Know who you are. Dig deep, even when it feels scary, to really begin to understand who you are and be you. Be you. If people don't like who you are, then okay, they have a right. But you also have a right to be your true self, your true and authentic self. And I've been saying this all along through the talk. Learn, grow, and advance. Learn all you can. Get a mentor. Get an advocate. Someone who believes in you. Someone who supports you. And get that knowledge and to take you to the next level, no matter what it is. If there are issues and challenges that you want to work through, get yourself a coach. If there's some deeper seated things that are impacting you, that's keeping you from moving forward, seek therapy. We just had Dr. Kenji Jones on. If you are trying to advance, having that mentor who's been where you are trying to go. That's the purpose of a mentor. A mentor is somebody who has been where you are, not someone where you go up to and say, will you be my mentor? No, someone who is doing the thing that you want to do. You want to get them to be your mentor. And your advocate is someone who's going to speak up on your behalf and be the one to say, she's the one. She has these credentials. She has what it takes to do this particular job. Okay. And we've seen this in action many times. Someone advocating on someone else's behalf for them to get a top job. Okay. And then speak your truth. It's important. You can hear my little dog Mila in the background. You want to be able to speak your truth and be able to say what needs to be said. And if things are impacting you, if you're starting to feel that emotional tax that I read to you in my dissertation, then have those communications. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. Don't be afraid to say what's right for you. There's a difference between being selfish and acting in one's own self-interest. Okay? And this is what we're talking about in terms of speaking in truth. You're acting in your own self-interest. You're speaking up. You're saying, this is what's right for me. This is what's best for me. This is how this action impacted me. This is how I felt when X, Y, and Z happened. Please don't do that again. And if you are doing those things on a regular basis, then you'll notice a shift in how people treat you. So what does that mean? Teach people how to treat you by speaking your truth. Okay, next slide. My 25-year-old self. One of my favorite commercials is the one with at the Super Bowl with LeBron James and he's talking to his younger self. You know, when the one where the Rams won the Super Bowl. Go Rams. I just really love that commercial. And I thought about, boy, I wish that I can talk to my 25-year-old self and really prepare her. What are some things that you would say if you could speak to your 25-year-old self? And for those of you who are 25 already, you're like, I'm 25. What would you say to your 15-year-old self? But what are some things that you would say to prepare your 25-year-old self to that next level? You know, it's really important for us to do that. And so I want you to do that. So for your homework, I want you to begin to say what it is that you need to say to your 25-year-old self. If I could talk to my 25-year-old self, I would say, you got this. All the things that you're doing, all the programs you've developed, the education, the volunteering that you've done, the events, the strategies you've come up with, the people you've supported and helped. You got this. You're going to be successful. You don't have to worry about it. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing. So let go of the fear and do it anyway, because you're going to be all right. That's what I would say. So what would you say to your 25-year-old self? Next slide. So what is your intention? What is your intention? Okay. What is it that you're going to do moving forward? How are you going to use use of self as an instrument for change for yourself? Post those things in the chat. Let me know what you're going to do differently. How has this information, this little bit of information, has it helped you? Has it given you some opportunities to do some reflection work, to do some insights, to say, you know what, I want to do some more introspection work? Yeah, I think this is important. So, okay, we're coming to the end of our session, the Sisters Circle. So you just experienced something special. And because our sister circles are normally private, and it's a safe space where women can come together to talk about the things that are important to them. And we do this. I usually do it with 8 to 12 women, and we come together on Zoom in a circle, and we listen, we share our truths, we communicate on a variety of different topics. I've done a few of these already, and it's a place for us to learn, grow, and advance. Now, for my deltas out there, I didn't forget about you. Let's put up the flyer. We are doing our spring listening circle. It's 4 weeks, and it's going to be Fridays, April 8th through the 29th, from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And so if you're interested, please send me an email at genadst34@gmail.com. And the flyer will be out on the calendar for Deltas, and we'll send that all to you. Now, for all of you who are not in the sorority and you want to participate in the Sisters Listening Circle, please send a message to my Instagram or to my Facebook Messenger and let me know that you're interested in doing a private Sisters Listening Circle with 8 to 12 women, and we'll get you registered. We'll give you all the details and let you know about that. So just contact me and let me know that. Okay. Now, I want to invite you all. You've been seeing the sponsorships and all the posts throughout this summit. I want to invite you all to our Serenity Sanctuary. It is a private self-care community, and it's a lounge where we can get together. We're going to have amazing content. We're going to have speakers and live streams and live events all around your mental and emotional health. All things mind, body, and spirit is going on in the Serenity Sanctuary, and I want you to join us. Membership in Serenity Sanctuary is complimentary, and I've got a special for all of you. I've got a free gift. So the first 10 people that head on over right now to Serenity Sanctuary, you got to do a couple of things first for this gift. You have to sign up. You have to complete your profile completely with picture and all, not just sign up. Answer the question that's in the post. Invite at least 5 of your friends who are also lovers of all things mind, body, and spirit. If you do that, you will get, this is for the first 10, you will get a Serenity Sanctuary journal. And trust me, it is beautiful. So I definitely want to be able to give that to you. So for the first 10 that do those things, they will get a Serenity Sanctuary journal to get you started on your way. Okay. Feel free to contact me as we end. Feel free to contact me. Look on my website, truesynergy.com or drgenayuvettedavis.com. Learn all about all the amazing things that we are doing. And does anybody have, if no one doesn't have any questions or comments, you can just post in the chat if you have any questions or comments, let me know. Really appreciate it. So everyone, I want to thank you so much for participating in the Sister Circle. The circle is now closed.